Balassa-Samuelson effect. The Balassa-Samuelson effect, also known as Harrod-Balassa-Samuelson effect, Kravis and Lipsey 1983, the Ricardo Harrod Balassa-Samuelson Penn Bhagwati effect, Samuelson 1994, p. 201, or productivity-biased purchasing power parity, PPP, Officer 1976, is the tendency for consumer prices to be systematically higher in more developed countries than in less developed countries. This observation about the systematic differences in consumer prices is called the Penn effect. The Balassa-Samuelson hypothesis is the proposition that this can be explained by the greater variation in productivity between developed and less developed countries, in the traded goods sectors than in the non-tradable sectors. Balassa and Paul Samuelson independently proposed the causal mechanism for the Penn effect in the early 1960s. The theory: the Balassa-Samuelson effect depends on inter-country differences in the relative productivity of the tradable and non-tradable sectors. The empirical Penn effect. By the law of one price, entirely tradable goods cannot vary greatly in price by location, because buyers can source from the lowest cost location. However, most services must be delivered locally, for example hairdressing, and many manufactured goods such as furniture have high transportation costs, or, conversely, low value to weight or low value to bulk ratios, which makes deviations from one price, known as purchasing power parity or PPP deviations, persistent. The Penn effect is that PPP deviations usually occur in the same direction, where incomes are high, average price levels are typically high. Basic form of the effect. The simplest model which generates a Balassa-Samuelson effect has two countries, two goods, one tradable, and a country-specific non-tradable, and one factor of production, labor. For simplicity, assume that productivity, as measured by marginal product, in terms of goods produced, of labor, in the non-tradable sector is equal between countries and normalized to 1. MPLNT, 1 equals MPLNT, 2 equals 1, display style MPL underscore NT, 1 equals MPL underscore NT, 2 equals 1. Where NT denotes the non-tradable sector and 1 and 2 indexes the two countries. In each country, under the assumption of competition in the labor market, the wage ends up being equal to the value of the marginal product, or the sector's price times MPL. Note that this is not necessary, just sufficient, to produce the Penn effect. What is needed is that wages are at least related to productivity. W1 equals PNT, 1 asterisk MPLNT, 1 equals PT asterisk MPLT, 1, display style W1 equals P underscore NT, 1, MPL underscore NT, 1 equals P sub T MPL underscore T, 1. W2 equals PNT, 2 asterisk MPLNT, 2 equals PT asterisk MPLT, 2, display style W2 equals P underscore NT, 2, MPL underscore NT, 2 equals P sub T MPL underscore T, 2. When a subscript T denotes the tradables sector. Note that the lack of a country-specific subscript on the price of tradables means that tradable goods prices are equalized between the two countries. Suppose that country 2 is the more productive, and hence, the wealthier one. This means that MPLT, 1 less than MPLT, 2, display style MPL underscore T, 1 MPL underscore T, 2. Which implies that PNT, 1 less than PNT, 2, display style P underscore NT, 1 P underscore NT, 2. So with the same, world, price for tradable goods, the price of non-tradable goods will be lower in the less productive country, resulting in an overall lower price level. The effect in more detail. A typical discussion of this argument would include the following features. Equivalent Balassa-Samuelson effect within a country. The average asking price for a house in a prosperous city can be 10 times that of an identical house in a depressed area of the same country. Therefore, the deviation exists independent of what happens to the nominal exchange rate, which is always 1 for areas sharing the same currency. Looking at the price level distribution within a country gives a clearer picture of the effect, because this removes 3 complicating factors. A pint of pub beer is famously more expensive in the south of England than the north, but supermarket beer prices are very similar. This may be treated as anecdotal evidence in favor of the Balassa-Samuelson hypothesis, since supermarket beer is an easily transportable, traded good. Although pub beer is transportable, the pub itself is not. The BS hypothesis explanation for the price differentials is that the productivity of pub employees, in pints served per hour, is more uniform than the productivity, in foreign currency earned per year, of people working in the dominant tradable sector in each region of the country, financial services in the south of England, manufacturing in the north. Although the employees of southern pubs are not significantly more productive than their counterparts in the north, southern pubs must pay wages comparable to those offered by other southern firms in order to keep their staff. This results in southern pubs incurring a higher labor cost per pint served. Empirical evidence on the Balassa-Samuelson effect. Evidence for the Penn effect is well established in today's world, and is readily observable when traveling internationally. However, the Balassa-Samuelson (BS) hypothesis implies that countries with rapidly expanding economies should tend to have more rapidly appreciating exchange rates. For instance, the 4 Asian tigers. Conventional econometric tests have resulted with mixed findings for the predictions of the BS effect. In total, since it was rediscovered in 1964, according to Tika and Druzik, 2006, the HPS theory has been tested 60 times in 98 countries in time series or panel analyses and in 142 countries in cross-country analyses. In these analyzed estimates, country-specific HPS coefficients have been estimated 166 times in total, and at least once for 65 different countries. Also, one should have in mind that a lot of papers have been published since then. Barmanioski and Abe, 2005, and Eagert, Halpern and MacDonald, 2006, also provide quite interesting surveys of empirical evidence on BS effect. Over time, the testing of the HPS model has evolved quite dramatically. Panel data and time series techniques have crowded out old cross-section tests. Demand side and terms of trade variables have emerged as explanatory variables. New econometric methodologies have replaced old ones, and recent improvements with endogenous tradability have provided direction for future researchers. The sector approach combined with panel data analysis and or co-integration has become a benchmark for empirical tests. Consensus has been reached on the testing of internal and external HPS effects, vis-à-vis a numeraire country, with a strong reservation against the purchasing power parity assumption in the tradable sector. Analysis of empirical data shows that the vast majority of the evidence supports the HPS model. A deeper analysis of the empirical evidence shows that the strength of the results is strongly influenced by the nature of the tests and set of countries analyzed. Almost all cross-section tests confirm the model, while panel data results confirm the model for the majority of countries included in the tests. Although some negative results have been returned, there has been strong support for the predictions of a co-integration between relative productivity and relative prices within a country and between countries, while the interpretation of evidence for co-integration between real exchange rate and relative productivity has been much more controversial. Therefore, most of the contemporary authors, see for example, Eagert, Halpern and MacDonald, 2006, or Dreen and Rowe, 2002, analyze main BS assumptions separately. Refinements to the econometric techniques and debate about alternative models are continuing in the international economics community. For instance, the next section lists some of the alternative proposals to an explanation of the Penn effect, but there are significant econometric problems with testing the BS hypothesis, and the lack of strong evidence for it between modern economies may not refute it, or imply that it produces a small effect. For instance, other effects of exchange rate movements might mask the long-term BS hypothesis mechanism, making it harder to detect if it exists. Exchange rate movements are believed by some to affect productivity. If this is true, then regressing movements on differential productivity growth will be polluted by a totally different relationship between the variables. 1. Alternative and additional causes of the Penn effect. Most professional economists accept that the Balassa-Samuelson effect model has some merit. However, other sources of the Penn effect/GDP relationship have been proposed. The distribution sector. In a 2001 International Monetary Fund working paper, McDonald and Ritchie accept that relative productivity changes produce PPP deviations, but argue that this is not confined to tradables versus non-tradable sectors. Quoting the abstract, an increase in the productivity and competitiveness of the distribution sector with respect to foreign countries leads to an appreciation of the real exchange rate, similarly to what a relative increase in the domestic productivity of tradables does. The Dutch disease. Capital inflows, say to the Netherlands, may stimulate currency appreciation through demand for money. As the euro appreciates, the competitiveness of the traded goods sectors falls, in terms of the international price of traded goods. In this model, there has been no change in real economy productivities, but money price productivity in traded goods has been exogenously lowered through currency appreciation. Since capital inflow is associated with high-income states, for example Monaco, this could explain part of the RA/income correlation. Yves Bourdet and Hans Falk have studied the effect of Cape Verde remittances on the traded goods sector. They find that, as local incomes have risen with a doubling of remittances from abroad, the Cape Verde has appreciated 14% during the 1990s. The export sector of the Cape Verde economy suffered a similar fall in productivity during the same period, which was caused entirely by capital flows and not by the BS effect. Services are a superior good. Rudy Dornbusch, 1998, and others say that income rises can change the ratio of demand for goods and services, tradable and non-tradable sectors. This is because services tend to be superior goods, which are consumed proportionately more heavily at higher incomes. A shift in preferences at the microeconomic level, caused by an income effect, can change the makeup of the consumer price index to include proportionately more expenditure on services. This alone may shift the consumer price index, and might make the non-trade sector look relatively less productive than it had been when demand was lower, if service quality, rather than quantity, follows diminishing returns to labor input. A general demand for a higher service quality automatically produces a reduction in per capita productivity. A typical labor market pattern is that high GDP countries have a higher ratio of service sector to traded goods sector employment than low GDP countries. If the traded/non-traded consumption ratio is also correlated with the price level, the Penn effect would still be observed with labor productivity rising equally fast, in identical technologies, between countries. The protectionism explanation. Lipsey and Swedenborg, 1996, show a strong correlation between the barriers to free trade and the domestic price level. If wealthy countries feel more able to protect their native producers than developing nations, for example with tariffs on agricultural imports, we should expect to see a correlation between rising GDP and rising prices, for goods in protected industries, especially food. This explanation is similar to the BS effect, since an industry needing protection must be measurably less productive in the world market of the commodity it produces. However, this reasoning is slightly different from the pure BS hypothesis, because the goods being produced are traded goods, even though protectionist measures mean that they are more expensive on the domestic market than the international market, so they will not be traded internationally. Trade theory implications. The supply-side economists, and others, have argued that raising international competitiveness through policies that promote traded goods sectors' productivity, at the expense of other sectors, will increase a nation's GDP, and increase its standard of living, when compared with treating the sectors equally. The Balassa-Samuelson effect might be one reason to oppose this trade theory, because it predicts that, A GDP gain in traded goods does not lead to as much of an improvement in the living standard as an equal GDP increase in the non-traded sector. This is due to the effect's prediction that the CPI will increase by more in the former case. History. The Balassa-Samuelson effect model was developed independently in 1964 by Balassa and Paul Samuelson. The effect had previously been hypothesized in the first edition of Roy Forbes Harrod's International Economics, 1939, pages 71 to 77, but this portion was not included in subsequent editions. Partly because empirical findings have been mixed, and partly to differentiate the model from its conclusion, modern papers tend to refer to the Balassa-Samuelson hypothesis, rather than the Balassa-Samuelson effect. See for instance, a panel data analysis of the Balassa-Samuelson hypothesis, referred to above.